Welcome to the intersection.
I'm Kunal. This is Chris.
We're here, y'all.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about Paramount versus Netflix.
I'll be honest, I don't really understand everything that's going on. Because I saw Netflix was buying Warner Brothers and then Paramount's like hostile takeover. Can you break down what's happened?
Okay, so right now, Netflix they won the offer through the board of the Warner Brothers, and they put a $75 billion deal together.
Jesus. With a B.
With a B.
Billion.
Billion.
Yeah.
And that was for Warner Brothers Studios and also HBO Max.
Is it called HBO Max now? That's what they're back to?
Yes, I believe so. I know they jumped them back. And actually, before we go deeper, HBO, that was horrible. That was horrible, the change you made. Like, you could have just stuck to HBO. It was already perfect.
Now I'm confused. So basically, they're going after the streaming platform and all the content on those platforms.
Yes.
Okay.
So that means Netflix will have The Wire, Harry Potter, everything that all under one.
Yeah.
And that was basically approved. That was approved. All they needed to do was make sure that the government was going to say okay to it. And it wasn't, but it wasn't.
Like, it would have to go through like antitrust checks and monopoly checks. Okay.
So Paramount was like, no, we have a better deal. And so what a hostile bid is when you pass the board and you go straight to the shareholders and tell them, listen, the board is not looking at it in your best interests. We have a better deal. And their better deal is, and let me make sure I have this correct.
They're trying to buy more of it.
More of it, but also, yes, it's $108.4 billion, but they're also buying not just Warner Brothers Studio and not just HBO Max, but also the news network, CNN, that's under them.
Okay.
And this is very interesting because a hostile bid, if you want to break it down, Netflix per share, what they're buying is around like $23 or $24 per share.
Okay.
Paramount is saying that our offer is better because we're buying it $30 per share.
Okay. So they're saying, hey, we'll pay the shareholders more. Y'all should side with us. It would still have to go through antitrust, but considering the administration wanting media to be controlled by billionaires, they'd probably be okay with it.
Correct. And then some people are arguing also Netflix, if they buy it, they're a monopoly. Netflix is the biggest. They have the most subscribers. Under them is Disney Plus. After that, if I'm correct, it is HBO Max. And then it's Hulu, and then it's Paramount.
Yeah, so it'd be 1 and 3 combining.
Correct. And that's Paramount's argument. But the argument against Paramount buying is exactly what you said, a billionaire owning another tech giant, and also news.
Owning the news.
And being able to kind of censor what we say. And mind you, let's be honest. If you don't know, Paramount is ran by Larry Ellison's son.
Remind me, who's Larry Ellison again?
Larry Ellison is the tech guru who also put a bid in for TikTok and owns Oracle.
And he said some shady shit.
Yeah, do you want to go into it? You know about?
No, go ahead.
Larry Ellison basically said that we need to censor and people on TikTok because they are spreading misinformation about what's happening in Palestine. That there's not that many kids dying. Also said that, everybody in America needs to be watched because that is how we can control the country and make sure not violence happens.
He read 1984 and was like, this is a good idea.
Yes.
We should do this.
Yes.
He's also been seen, with Trump and like...
Oh, they're buddies.
They have being buddy with him.
Yeah.
So right now, what are we waiting on?
So right now, we have to wait until January because when you put a hostile bid together, shareholders now have a time to vote. And that vote is in January. I'm not off the top of my head the exact date, but I believe it's mid-January. We'll see if that goes through. Obviously, Netflix is going to probably want to do a counter offer or also take this to court because they're like, hey, we already got the board to approve a $72 billion deal.
The board might have approved, but it wasn't a done deal.
It wasn't a done deal because, as you said, it has to go through the antitrust. Yeah. It has to make sure everybody approves it, which is why Larry Ellison and his son being buddy with Trump, even if the shareholders know this deal can just be done because they can say, hey, it's a monopoly. It's not happening.
Yeah.
But Warner Brothers, it needs to be sold right now. They're sinking. They're burning money. Theaters are not making, movies are not making as much money in theaters anymore. And that is because people are not going to theaters.
I feel like when I go to the movies, I do see some people, but it's not as crowded as it was like even pre-pandemic
Yeah.
era. I think costs are catching up to folks. I know there's some AMC's doing subscriber programs. And I think other regional theaters are doing the same, but you got a family of 4, it can cost you like over $100 to take
Mm-hmm.
everybody out to the movies, and who's got that kind of time and money to spend.
Yeah.
So, okay, I have a question here, which is, are we asking then shareholders to say no to the hostile takeover and like maybe against their fiscal interests to not give CNN to a billionaire who's in like Trump's inner circle?
I think it's a hard.
Are we just watching
I
this?
think we're watching this because right now, what I would say what a shareholder is looking at, I made more money with Paramount, but I'm kind of signing over the news to now all moving towards conservative. But if I go with Netflix, it's not like Netflix is just a sweet deal for everybody.
Yeah.
We might not have movie theaters the same way. There might not be, movies will only be there for 1 week. Netflix will put everything just on streaming, and also they will be a monopoly and be able to hike up the prices. So your favorite movies, if you don't already have them on DVDs, which maybe our age and people older, but younger people haven't had DVDs like that. You're going to have
this
to.
this holiday season, I hung out with some of my friends,
Yeah.
young kids like 7 and younger, have never heard of a DVD player.
Exactly. So now to watch, hey, a Harry Potter movie or to watch The Wire, Netflix might be as high as what linear cable was. So
I mean, already I feel
Yeah.
like if you are paying subscription for different subscribing models, you're kind of paying cable prices at this point.
True, but the difference is now you have a balance of them battling each other of trying to go lower.
Yeah.
But when you have now everybody under, if I'm correct, you're basically their subscribers will be over 300 million. They're gonna raise those prices up. Right now, I know Netflix because I got the highest one because everybody's watching on my Netflix.
Don't say
Uh,
that.
it doesn't
It's
matter.
just you.
They ain't taking me out. And if you take me out Netflix, I'm moving. It doesn't matter. I got DVDs. I got DVDs. It's $33. That might jump up to like $70.
Wait, that's the ad-free.
Ad free, the 4K, multiple,
It's $33.
$33.
I don't have Netflix,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't know.
If you move that up, that can bounce up. And mind you, it's already going to go up just because they're like, we have the Harry Potter, we have The Wire, we have all the shows you want.
Yeah.
So they're already
Plus
going to jump that.
HBO's content is consistently
Yeah.
like talked about and high performing.
Their originals that they're going to take over, different things.
I feel like we just came off of watching Hollywood unions go through a big fight when it comes to AI. This feels like another like existential threat to actors, writers, directors.
Yeah.
Where have they talked about this? Where are they on this?
They're not with it at all for either of them buying it because what it does is workers are going to be fired.
They're fucked.
They're messed up. You're not about to keep everybody. We know when companies buy other companies, they keep their staff and they fire the rest. And that's a huge issue. Hollywood has already shrunk. It's shrunk.
Yeah.
It's been shrinking over the years, especially since the pandemic. And like you said, writers have been fighting against AI, but now they have to fight against other writers. Unions now lose leverage because now they don't work with just the studios plus the streaming. Now they're only with the one streamer. So it's not good for workers and the unions.
Honestly, this all sucks.
Yeah.
Kind of.
It's like to be honest, you're just fucked a different way.
Yeah. But neither solution has anything good really good here.
Yeah.
Is there any positive spin on the media landscape in the future?
I think the positive is independent directors and writers, and I think we've already kind of seen this has moved into this short film form that's worked on social, but also we've seen a lot of YouTube series now that are popping up that people are just like, hey, I know I'm not going to be able to get through Netflix. I know I'm not going to be able to get through the Warner Brothers, the studios. I'm going to YouTube and creating. So I think we're going to have a renaissance of just new type of creative coming out, and YouTube is actually going to be the ones that benefit from it. Feels like Google's always benefiting from something.
Yeah. I will say, I think in the past year, something I've seen a lot of is a lot of stand up specials are going straight to YouTube. I think they used to, Comedy Central Presents used to exist when we were kids, which would give like 30-minute to hour-long sets to folks. But I'm seeing folks like Josh Johnson, John Marco. I mean, Josh Johnson puts like an hour set up every week
I love him.
on
He's
YouTube.
great.
John Marco, I think, just put up a full special. I think a lot of comedians are putting full specials on YouTube, a lot of them for free, with then a link to their website so you can go see them live. We've also seen creators create their own studios. The Try Guys have created their own kind of subscription model studio, Dropout TV, which is kind of the people from College Humor have got together and made their own studio and have been churning out shows for years now. So maybe we will see kind of that more accumulation of certain creators to make independent channels or independent streaming services with a YouTube model to support it.
And I also think it's going to go also to direct to consumer.
Okay.
People, I think, are going to start cutting out the middleman directly and just be like, hey, if you love me, we build these fan bases, and it's just like, hey, if you sign up, I can give it to you right here for $15, because everybody taking a cut is hurting the creatives.
I think we've talked about a lot of the creative content on this. I think we can shout out A24.
Yep.
Does a lot of good work, and I'm going to shout out Shudder, specifically the only real streaming site I subscribe to. I love Shudder. Thank you for making horror movies possible. But that's on the creative side. I think, honestly, maybe the biggest fear I have is also with CNN being in the mix. It does, the way 2025 has gone and maybe the way 2026 will go. Look out for our predictions episode. It feels like that's the Larry Ellison one's probably the one that ends up becoming reality. What happens to news? Do folks stop looking at CNN and looking at these more hallmark legacy brands for news and start going more to TikTokers, YouTubers, streamers? I feel like younger generations are already doing that, but will our generation and older start doing that as well?
That's the big question, because right now, when you even look at the data, there's still a lot of people watching legacy news.
Yeah.
Regardless, like there's still people go to Fox, regardless of understanding Fox just spills out misinformation. But also, we're saying TikTok, but TikTok is still, the deal hasn't been closed, but Larry Olson's supposed to do that, and that's sort of censored. We've already know what Meta has done in the past and censored. So even if they're still influencers speaking, they might be censored. So how do you get that information? I do not know, and I think that is the biggest question. Maybe hopefully somebody else comes out and starts a new media company, but that just means there's another billionaire.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest problem. We have billionaires controlling everything instead of. So to give you a fact,
I'm going to say one thing real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, bring back zines. Support your local zine illustrators and makers. There's Zine Fest in your town. I guarantee it. Go buy stuff. Like print media, like Renegade Print is where I think we are going to shift to a little bit. It's not going to take over. It's not going to take over CNN. But I think if you're really interested, like supporting local print journalism is the way to go right now.
So the fact I have is, in the 1970s, media companies, when we're talking that were for any type of media, on TV, of news and getting the message out, there was 55 owners. Right now, we basically have 5 owners. And we might go down to 3.
And they're all billionaires.
All billionaires.
Yeah.
So this is a huge issue. But I do, I hate to be the pessimistic, but I do think there's going to be a short time we're in the dark age where it's just like, this sucks. And where it has to be where people figure out and we find a new where and the renaissance happens. But is not looking great for us, especially when you have Trump in office that is definitely leaning towards this happening and wanting it to happen.
I mean, it's not even been a year. There's 3 more years.
Yeah, so like it's a lot of time for them to mess up the media. It's like this doesn't, and mind you, this whole bidding is not going to be solved within the next 3 months. This is going to be about a year and a year and a half. There's a lot of things, and we'll keep up with this, but there's a lot that's going to happen. I have a question.
For me?
Yes,
what
for
you got?
you.
What you got?
In your perfect world, you asked me what would happen. What do you think would need to happen for us to be able to fight these billionaires and the control that they have of the media?
You want my real answer, or you want?
I only want the real.
There's a lot of indicators saying that like we're getting to moments of like global pushing against these tides of revolution, of folks fighting back against these oppressive systems. Right now, that's taking the form of people creating a lot of content. I think when it comes to content, if that content starts getting censored, it's going to take people meeting up in person, forming groups, and creating, I think, some form of like educational schools and systems. I think it's going to require like relying on the Black Panther model, in neighborhoods and creating coalitions to fight back, right? I think that looks like education for students who are now receiving all their information from TikTok and digital sources, and creating spaces where they talk to and understand from elders, books, and lived experiences. I think at some point we'll also be like tearing down these old structures. Having just 2 movie studios that are like also streaming is not going to create the like stories of like love and loss and death and romance that drive a culture forward. So I think we'll see a little bit more guerrilla movie making and guerrilla art, and I hope that people do so safely and with good intentions, but gets it out there.
You know what I think is coming back?
What?
People pirated.
Oh.
I think that like
I do that.
but
That's
no.
That's here.
That's
if
here.
you're not pirating stuff, you're losing out.
But
Do
Kunal,
that.
that is on such a low level compared to when it was when we like had it at the peak when music and a lot of people don't pirate the same way. A lot of people, even our age, don't pirate the same way.
I haven't talked to any teens about this, and talking to like a 7-year-old, they wouldn't know what piracy is anyway.
Sure.
But I think you are right, because we grew up in maybe a golden age of digital piracy with the advent of LimeWire and all that. I think that is respectable when you're fighting against billionaire corporate systems. Like, don't, like, if I'm saying, like, don't pirate like an indie film or a stand-up special. Do pirate anything made by Amazon Prime. They're fine. They don't need your money. Don't pay them. Steal from them. Steal from any billionaire corporation. Always, forever. And I will do that. I will keep sailing those seas, and I hope to see more of you out there.
Yeah, I definitely think that's going to be the
do so with a VPN. And if we get a VPN sponsor, use their code. But use a VPN. Be safe. Don't get caught.
I definitely think that's going to be the new wave. I think people are going to get back to that. I think people are going to be passing that around because, as you know, it used to be like, oh, that's off. Don't take the first turret. Go down 3. Download that. That's the right one because we don't want the voice of the Bill Clinton.
Also, if you download seed the streams. Okay, don't be a leech.
Hold on. Explain what that is. Because some people do not know what seeding is.
So when, wow, I can't believe I'm explaining this.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying.
2025.
A lot of people do not understand that.
This? How old am I?
Yeah.
What's happening? Okay, so I actually don't know the total ins and outs of how it works, but you'll use something like MooTorrent or RarTorrent to download a torrent file that connects you to a stream where folks are seeding, which means they're providing the data of that file, and then you're downloading the data of that file to your computer, likely through a VPN, so that the cops can't track you through your ISP, which is your internet service provider. And then once you have fully downloaded it, then you become a seeder, where you are now supplying that data so someone else can download. I generally say that you should seed for as long as it takes for you to download at a bare minimum. If you have a really good tech setup, please seed more often. And if you truly can't, then, that's okay. It's the give a penny, take a penny model of the digital world. And if you don't know what give a penny, take a penny is, you're too young. Please Google that. You know what give a penny, take a penny is,
I
right?
know.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, you looked at me like you didn't know what that
No,
was. I was like, please,
no.
God,
I
know
thought
what
you was
that.
gonna explain it to people, but you told them just to Google
It's
it.
in the name.
I know, but
Give
it's
a penny, take a
very.
penny.
But hey, a lot of people don't know, man. A lot of people don't know. We're at a different age. I feel like that's what's great about us. We're in a unique position that we remember the times when this was like everything.
When we were in the 2000s
Mm-hmm.
and late and early 2010s and digital piracy was a thing, a lot of it was also for music because that was kind of the limit of file sizes that could be handled, at least on my crappy home computer that we shared with the whole family. I would download it, but then I would go to those concerts.
Mm-hmm.
So I never saw it. I never truly saw me as stealing from musical artists. I saw it as I can't afford $20 to learn what your CD is, and the Barnes and Noble like pre-play CD scanner only plays like 30 seconds of your song.
Mm-hmm.
So let me figure out if I like you, and then I'll come to your concert, or I'll buy your merch online.
Yeah.
So I will pay. Like the money gets paid to the creator at some point. I'm just bypassing studios.
And I want to loop this around for people that might get into this detail of this episode and get a little lost of like what we're explaining. You used to be able to own music. You had a CD, you owned it.
Yeah.
I have the Usher Confessions album. I can go and play it all the time. I was able to even burn a CD for my friend. I own that. Nobody was able to do if like Apple or Spotify right now and when they want to take that album off and you do not have that CD, you would never be able to listen to that again. That is what is happening with movies and streaming. And that is very essential for people to understand. You should be able to own things. We shouldn't be in the world where we're always renting from billionaires. They do not own IPs of things, even though they say that with all their trademarking and stuff. The world owns creatives. That is what keeps going on and makes the world move. So just to simplify it, and for some people that might get lost in the details that we just talked about. The slow
There's
time.
no one else here to. Matt didn't join in. Yeah, thanks, Matt. Slow on the update, but there's no one else here to slow cap. But I think that's a really good point. It's also why I see some of my friends who collect vinyl and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I now collect cassette tapes. Like there is, I think, something real about owning art, right? And that physical piece that can play the music, the movie, the show,
Mm-hmm.
is being able to own art in a way that was a standard and now is not even just a luxury, feels like wrong
Yeah.
to a lot of people because people want access rather than ownership. And
Yeah.
I think we need to flip that narrative.
We need to flip it. Go buy your DVD players. Go buy a VH player. Also buy your hard drive so you can put it on the hard drive after that because you can. So you can have this. Mind you, I have hard drives on hard drives of music that
Yeah.
just in case the streaming goes off, I will still be slapping my songs.
Yeah. Cool. Let's end on a fun note.
Okay. What we got?
I think someone was it Keanu that made the segment or you? Someone made the segment. Let me get there. Okay. Hot, cold, or industry plant? That's what we're doing? You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let me explain the categories. Hot, this is something that's generally working, resonating. Cold, this is something that's flopping
Okay.
or on the downtrend. Industry plant is something that feels manufactured, corporately pushed, paid, supported,
Okay.
something like that. Okay, these are all going to be media related. TikTokers getting TV shows.
That's cold to me. That's not mine, but I feel like that might be a generational thing, but it's cold to me.
Rebooting old IP instead of making new stars.
Cold. I absolutely hate it. Be creative. Create something different. Like, we got so much talent out here. Create something different. Like, I'm okay with a couple. Also, if you're going to do these IPs, do something that like we haven't seen all the time. Like, I'm tired of. Listen, I love Alien versus Predator. I love it.
Don't
but
do this.
But we
Don't do
keep
this.
we keep
Don't do
just
this.
flipping that. Yeah, I'm stop. Like, listen, how many have we seen for our lifetime?
I like New Predator. I'm hoping there's a new Alien versus Predator.
See,
I want it.
like it's just going too far. It's just going too far.
Don't come after the horror brand that didn't do nothing to nobody.
It has. There has been flops in those, but we're not going to go in there.
That's fine. They're all good.
They're not all good.
They're all good.
Do not listen.
I like
They're
all
not
of
all
them.
good.
I like
And this
all
is
of
why
them.
this is why I see they keep doing this.
They're targeted to me, and I like them. A quote unquote limited series that's clearly trying to act for a season 2.
Can you give me
I can't give you an example. Someone wrote this. I don't know what the heck they talking about.
limited series?
Here's what I might say is I think there are some limited series that don't get a season 2,
Mhm.
and there's some that do. So I think Westworld is really like a great season 1,
Yeah.
and then it got popular and kind of got a season 2. Or Squid Game was written, the dude put years into it, was supposed to just be a season 1, was too popular, and so Netflix kind of like threw money into creating a season 2 versus something like Watchmen, which
Okay.
was just a season 1.
I got it. Limited series are kind of like less than a pilot series, and I'm all right with that. I'm hot with that. That's cool. That's fine with me because that allows creatives that are exploring into new type of genres or a new type of like movie that we were like never have from studio, gives them a chance. So yes, I'm hot with that.
How do you feel about celebrity podcasts?
I am okay with it, but there's too many. That doesn't mean every celebrity should have one, but I'm okay with some because some actually are, I think, giving very educational information how to get into the industry. And I think some are just horrible and want to hear themselves talk. And I'm not with that.
You're not with a celebrity podcast where they're just kind of hanging out and talking about their lives and things that are just interesting to them in the moment.
Yeah, nah.
No?
No,
All right.
I'm not.
I'm not sure what I had in mind, but I'm sure when I said that, everyone thought of a few.
Yeah.
Studios blaming audiences for bad box offices.
That's cold. Some of your movies are whack. Some of you guys are not making good movies because, back to the IP, you're just making the same movie over.
I almost feel like there are too many movies on some level, like, or they're not out long enough. Like a movie comes out and then it's gone in 2 weeks.
Because of streaming. Because everybody wants to
Because
get
of
streaming.
yeah.
That is back to why Netflix, people are... But I want to also talk about this. And I want to talk specifically to AMC. AMC, I'm one of your biggest supporters. Kunal is too.
We're A-listers.
We're A-listers. Let me tell you how to win this. And when you do this, we need you to give us an ad.
I have an idea
and
too.
Also,
okay, you do your pitch, I'll do my pitch.
The pitch is we got to take back movies back how they were in the day. Theater needs to be an experience. Right now, the whole just comfy little seats and recline, that's not enough. Bring the food. Make it where there's, when you walk in, people want to dress up and things. That is how theater used to be. No, movie theaters used to be that, and a lot of people do not remember that.
I just never dress up for stuff, so yeah. I don't remember.
But I think there needs to be all of these of how we've talked before about third spaces and everything. You are losing out because now it just feels like, why can't I just look at this at home?
So I will say maybe slightly separately is I liked when movie theaters had something attached to them, whether it was a cafe or a space to hang out, arcade, mini golf. I grew up in Columbus. I did high school in Columbus, Georgia, and there was a huge mini golf, arcade, and roller skating rink.
Yeah.
And they used to host birthdays, so you could have a birthday party and then go watch a movie with your friends. It was great as a kid. Here's my thing, AMC. I think you need to create like a family deal on your A-list. I think you should have, right now it's like, whatever the cost is, it's state dependent, but it's like, you get 4 free movies a week. Crazy. Also, I'm saying all this, please support indie theaters as well.
Yeah.
I try and go see a movie in an indie theater for every movie I see it.
Yep. Shout out to Grand Lake Theater.
Just to balance it out. Shout out to New Parkway. That's but also I think if you create a model that allowed you to bring like 1 or 2 kids and the discount on food, like you'd see more families coming to the movies. I think that's gonna be a huge part in boosting box office sales again.
That's huge.
Because if you can bring kids, like kids will want to go at least twice.
And they a lot of kids have not experienced movie theaters, you know? because it's so expensive.
Yeah.
Like my niece loves going to the movie theater. Like
Yeah.
she's like, oh, let's see it in the movies, because she understands the experience of seeing it on an IMAX or the sound for certain movies. But like we take her friends and they're like, oh, I never go to the movies. Like, and I want them to be able to go to the movies to have that experience.
Well, okay, that ties in. Oh, we have two more.
Yeah, shoot at me.
Making movies for IMAX.
Yes, hot. Some movies should be for IMAX. And specifically, not just, and let me know because some people don't know the details, not all movies need to be seen in IMAX. They need to be shot in IMAX. Example, Sinners. Sinners was shot for IMAX. There's some movies that are not shot in IMAX, but they go on IMAX just for the studios to try to make more money. But you really should just see them on the regular screen. So we need more movies shot in IMAX.
And then finally, award shows trying to go viral.
So cold. So cold. Actually, that's the industry plan.
That's the
industry plan.
That's the
one.
industry plan.
It's whack.
We found it.
Stop it. Let it go.
Okay, that's the last one.
Cool.
Okay, so seems like we feel dark days ahead for the media landscape, but through the power of each other, by sailing together on the high seas, we'll make it through.
We'll make it through. And I think to add on to that, we've always historically had to go through dark to remember what we had for in the light, and we'll get back there.
Cool.
So yeah, we'll see y'all how this deal goes.
Peace out.